Welcome to Talking To. I am your host, Rufus Bill, and today is December 10th, 2023. We are slowly, fastly approaching the end of the year, and we're so glad that you're joining us wherever you are, night or day, via Facebook Live or through YouTube. We're going to have a great conversation today. We want to invite you to join in by just going into the chat room and putting up your comment, and we would be glad to involve you into our conversation. And before we go any further, we'd like to introduce our host today, our Joanne Tosin Fuller. Good afternoon, Joanne.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. How
you doing today?
I'm doing great. Great.
That's good. Also, Mr. Justin Hearn.
Yes.
What's going on, people?
Justin, buddy, we've been missing you. How you doing today?
Man, all is well. That's gonna be my report. All is well.
That's the report we're gonna believe.
That's the report we're
going with.
That's what we're going with.
I tell you, life be lifing though, you know.
I like that. Life be life.
Yes,
it does.
Lifing.
So that's for sure.
How's that little one?
She's doing just amazing. She's doing just fine. She's actually starting to stay up a little bit longer and not just be sleep all day. So getting some smiles and some coos out of her. So that's always exciting and just
as they start.
Babies do a lot of sleeping.
This one does,
Okay.
She literally she'll eat, she'll go back to sleep, she'll be down for 3 to 4 hours, she'll wake up, she eat, she down for another 3 to 4 hours. Like she's doing a lot of sleeping, and but like I said, she's starting to have maybe an hour and a half, she'll actually be up and alert, and then she right back to sleep. So yeah, she's a sleeping beauty.
All right.
That's right. These are the times that you will cherish the most.
Yeah.
Can we have some of that sleep?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll take some.
Joanne, you been on the run?
Oh my goodness. Ooh, yes. But it's all good. But yes, been on the run, been on the move. Yeah. But Justin, we've been missing you.
Wait, it's only been 1 week, right?
Yeah.
Was it one or two?
Just one. It was just one.
Just 1 week.
It's like it's forever.
But then it was a week, and then it was gone, and then it was not last week.
Okay.
Because he had the kids 2 weeks ago.
I had the You're right. So it's been like 2 weeks. Yeah. So last week, my mom and Rufus used to play for this church and this choir, whatever. They used to do it during Thanksgiving time.
That's right.
And they used to raise funds to provide whole meals for families. So everything from the turkey to the cranberry sauce, like literally everything they would need. This year they did something different. They still honored families in need, but it wasn't for Thanksgiving. It was a benefit concert. You had Peace and Goodwill, the Cathedral Voices. They were the I guess would have you the main event, whatever. Okay. There was other guests that were there that sung. Carlos Whitlow, he sung at some point. Matter of fact, the first song they gave Michael Fletcher some flowers, his flowers publicly. He like directed the first song or something like that. It was cool. It was a cool little vibe. I had to cut out early. It was a Sunday night. I had my son. He had to go to school. So around 9 o'clock, I was like, yeah, I got to pull the plug.
9 o'clock.
And it started at 6?
So they actually provided dinner. So I guess when you came in, it was like dinner. You had free food, like literally whole dinner. You could sit down and you could eat. So they had that portion. And then the concert started after the dinner. Yeah, after the dinner. So, yeah.
I don't know. I'd have been full.
Look, full of sleep. Look,
right.
So how was the choir? Did they
They did good. I think it was I think that it was overall it was good. It was good. It was nice. I guess I'm not into church choirs like I used to be or
Right.
anything like that. So, it's okay. It just kind of reminds me of a time in life that I'm appreciative
Yep.
of, but
Mhm.
that I don't too much of it. I'm annoyed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Too much of it, I'm annoyed, but just the right amount. I was like, oh, okay, that's cute.
Right.
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
And I'm
A
sure
lot.
reminiscent to be back at your home church, seeing some people maybe that you hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah, it's always good to see old folks and different things like that. There was I say a quick transition from me being there to not being there.
Oh,
And I think that a lot of the current pastor, a lot of his family is there. And so I think some of them, kind of feel like I left him or something like
Okay.
that. So
oh.
there's always this weird vibe and dynamic
Mhm.
sometimes that I get, you know what I mean? From certain, it's not from everybody.
Right.
It's not, but from some people it is like I'm a traitor or something, So
Turncoat.
Like nobody
Right.
nobody speaks about the elephant in the room, but you can
Mm,
feel the elephant in the
mhm.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
sometimes it be that way. So I never know, what I'm going to get when I go.
When you
But
go.
there are some people that always, show love. It was some people that was always good to see. Like Deacon Dozier, is a
Oh yeah,
mentor.
Dickie Red Hill Dozier.
Yep, he's a
Yes.
mentor of mine. Great guy. His wife was there too, so it was so good to see them.
Okay.
And amongst others, it's always good to see, but it's always that weird vibe, and that's just I don't know why church folks
Sometimes
act
you have
like
to
that,
move.
but
Sometimes you have to move to flourish.
yeah.
And sometimes you're not really, especially if you grew up in that environment or in that church.
Mhm.
Sometimes, and it really is true that sometimes you're not appreciated in your home.
Yeah,
A
and
lot of
Yeah.
times.
I think that's so accurate. And it's just at the end of the day, we're all trying to get where we believe God is sending us. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the whole purpose.
That's the whole purpose. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
entire purpose.
But sometimes with church and different things like that, church members are viewed as property. You know what I mean? You belong here. You know what I mean? I've even heard, this not that peace and goodwill thing, but I've even heard pastors, tell people that if you leave my church, you ain't gonna be blessed.
Oh my
Right. I've heard
goodness.
that too.
Like,
I've
Really?
heard that.
yeah, like that whole thing is
Oh, how narcissistic.
I know.
man,
Trying to put the hoogie woogie
right? The
on
hoogie woogie.
sound.
Yeah.
But
I will tell on you.
right. I was telling Joanne last week. I said, uh, Justin is such a great son because he went because his mother asked him
Yes.
to go, and how you wouldn't support it. Her because she's in the choir and the ministry. That was really nice. I was thinking a lot of times when people do understand or do know your the greatness that a person possesses and their potential, like you said, they want to hold on to it because they want to capture. Not saying this is this is the case, but they want to captivate and capitalize even sometimes, on that to help the organization flourish and thrive. So,
Yeah,
but
I think one thing, I don't know what we're in now, but for a period of time in life, we were we was in this season of hired pastors, right? Whereas you had, back in the day, you had the Vans and you had the Marvin Winans. These were, pioneers who started these churches, you know what I mean, in the 70s, 60s, and 50s, well, probably 70s and 60s and whatever they started them. And then, you had a lot of them, or not them per se, but people their age, you had them die. And so with that, with them dying, it brought in the generation of hired pastors.
Exactly.
Where I didn't start this church, I'm hired here to do a job.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take that approach that you're hired here, you're here to do a job, you immediately move from kingdom minded, you know what I mean,
Right.
to building a church and, you know, and nourishing and flourishing and sending people out. You immediately move from that place to this is mine and I'm here to do a job and it has to be me. And it's, you know what I mean? You move to this, you move into that place, and that is a dangerous place for any, you know, pastor,
leader,
to be in, because these are God's people, not our people. You're not my people, you're God's people, you know. And I believe that everybody is a minister, you know. Everybody, there's some people that will listen to Joanne but won't listen to me, you know what I mean. They may listen to Rufus but they won't. And so, you know, you get some of that dominance things, and that's when, you know, things move into the minute. And I'm not saying that this was, you know,
of course,
right,
or anything like that, but I'm just speaking in general. The generation of hired pastors, you see that more because I'm hired here to do a job, so it's my responsibility. And you know, we see
I'm the CEO.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
The COO.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You know what I like, Joanne, about the millennials, and Justin is in the millennial stage, a demographic, is that they will not sugarcoat anything.
I appreciate it.
And I can appreciate it.
I love it.
I love it because for so long you would have not people being fake, but yes, fake, but being silent about anything.
Yes.
And when and see, that has always been the problem, not only in churches, but in businesses and in families. We so quiet and we're not expressing ourselves. Then when things go awry, we're all looking crazy.
Yeah, I thought that, or you know, but I'm always been one, always have been one to say, talk to me. I'm not going to assume what you're trying to say. If just say what you're trying to say, and I do the same. Talk to me, tell me, you know. And I know, and you know, when people are coming to you with kindness and love, or you know, with spiritual correction or love correction or whatever, you know those people. And so most people are not trying to come to you to hurt you, or being brutally honest, trying to, you know,
beat you up,
to beat you down, but they're coming to you because they want better, either for you or want better, period, in a situation. Right. And so be honest. Let's talk.
Let's talk. Exactly.
You know, it reminds me of this book I read and a sermon I taught, and I entitled it Crucial Conversations. And I think that you know, the older generation has avoided those crucial conversations for the lack of, well, you know, respect. You know, I'm just I'm not going to say nothing, or for, you know, not wanting to be confrontational, you know what I mean? And whereas my generation is like, no, we just gonna call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? We're just gonna and we don't care, offended or not, you know.
But I think you do. I think you do care, but it's just that you're at that you just want things to be upfront.
Right.
I really don't believe that you don't care. I really do, because you're not trying to hurt people. You're not trying to, like we said, you're not trying to bash people. But my thing is, you know, confrontation is not a bad word. Confrontation to me is only dealing with the issues that fall before you.
Right.
That's what confrontation is. Now, it can go awry, it can go bad, but most of the time, let's deal with these issues. And that's what bothers me with people is, come on, let's deal with this. You got an issue with me, talk to me, because I might not know what I did. I might know, but maybe I didn't realize it hurt you that bad, or maybe I don't realize the look that I gave you, or you know what I'm saying. So talk to me.
Yeah,
and we can get to the root.
Yeah
100%.
Yeah. If you're just viewing and turning in, your experience in talking to Joanne Tozer Fuller, Justin Hearn, and we're talking about some things that can affect you, or at the very most interest you. And when you talk about being transparent, that is something that should interest everyone because especially in today's climate of all this technology and everything that's going on, you need to be transparent, which is a great segue to the transparency of ousted congressmen. And that
Mr. George.
George Santos. George Santos is a
Mr.
Republican from,
Mercy.
I believe, Massachusetts. And they kicked him out for him not being an honest person as he ran in his campaign. One of the things, Justin and Joanne, he told in his campaign that his mother, Mamma Mia, was in the towers,
yes,
the Twin Towers, and was killed. Lying.
So don't tell me his mom is still alive.
She live over in where is he from? Mexico? Where is he from?
I think Massachusetts.
But
I
don't
know where he's from originally.
Yeah, she's in their homeland. She wasn't even here in the United States.
Wow.
Crazy. Then all the money he stole from the campaign and was living high, traveling on the money from the campaign, and just all the lies that he told. It's just crazy. They say he allegedly committed identity theft. He there's just a lot. But
lied about his education.
Yes.
Now, can you imagine on that level? I mean, the next level is the presidency. You want to vet this man,
right?
With all of the news and everything that's right at your fingertip.
Yes. Here's some of the other lies he told.
Okay.
Just found it. He allegedly lied to collect unemployment benefits. So he collected more than $24,000 in unemployment benefits. He allegedly to over $24,000 and said he was earning his salary around $120,000 at that time. He allegedly committed, I said, identity theft. And of course, he lied to Congress about everything. He reimbursed himself for loans that he never made. He lied about where he went to high school and college. He lied about working on Wall Street. I mean, it's like it goes on and on. It goes on and on and on.
Let's play a game really quick.
Okay.
So, if you ever familiar with the Breakfast Club, they play this game called Guess What Race It Is. And so
that ain't black because we would have been under the jail.
Oh my!
A long time ago.
So you gave the name and then you said what he did. So I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before, but okay. I'm going to guess.
Careful.
Right. I'm going to guess that Mr. Santos. Mr. Santos is. I guess I can't say that. I guess you can get away with it, but I can't say that here.
Right. Let's see. I can say.
How can we put that? How can we gingerly put that?
We can say.
Mentally.
Ethnicity.
Well, we go on. He lied about starting a dog. An animal shelter. He ripped off an Amish dog breeder.
Wait, he said he was Jewish and was actually reared Catholic. Now this is how they put his ethnicity. And Santos claimed that he was biracial and that his Brazilian-born father had roots in Angola. So the jury is even out about that. Mm-hmm. What is his
so you don't even know.
You don't even know. Can you believe that? Joanne, you said something very clear.
It was too long. It was too long that they and he reminded me so much of the other guy
Um,
that the day before they ousted him, if
mhm.
he was on TV saying, if they fire me, if they let me go, it's gonna be hell to pay. It's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. If they let me, so who does that sound like? Who does he sound like?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he sounds just like, I was like, oh my goodness. He really thought that they were not going to.
Mhm.
But they don't realize that the Republican Party, and I think some of them are starting to realize, and maybe they realize, I don't know what their fear was. But these people are tearing that party up.
Yeah, they are.
They're tearing that party up.
Mm.
And that you don't stand up for the right.
Ever.
Yeah. You don't stand up, and reason, who knows what the reasons are. I don't know.
So did the Democrats mainly put him out?
His own people.
Right.
His own people.
His own
Because I
people.
guess they're getting tired of it. I guess some of them are actually like, look, okay, enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say for the party, they, and this is for both parties, but especially the Republican Party, they pretty much turn a blind eye to indiscretions. Oh, you did that over there. Okay, well, we'll just don't do that again. But if you are a part of their organization and you have all of these untruths and they just begin to spiral, and they're associating an individual with the party, you're gonna go.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
They're gonna get rid of you.
Because they're even starting to stand up against Trump now too. But I did find out his parents were born in Brazil.
They were
born in Brazil, even though he was born in New York.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had them going.
He had them going. He had them
for too long.
Too long. Way too long. Way too long. If that was you or I,
right,
and they found out we lied about something, especially the lies that he told, we would have been ousted long ago. So it's still that privilege.
Mm-hmm. Because when former President Barack Obama, they were talking about he wasn't American born, and they went through and they did all this research trying to find birth certificates. And this was on the behest of Donald Trump, because he was the one that originally
started. Donald Trump didn't know Hawaii was part of the United States.
Part of the United States. Really, Donald.
Like he didn't know Puerto Rico was part. Well, why are we helping them? They're not part of us. And then he realized, hello, somebody had to tell him U.S. territory.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
That is crazy.
Now, you think it should be a basic test or something, right?
Do you know everything that's associated with the United States?
Right.
Number one. You know, it's funny you said that, Justin. I was doing some housekeeping and I ran across a little book that talked about U.S. history, giving, about the articles and all that. I said, I'm going to have to read this again and brush up on it, because it's good to know things the important things, the Bill of Rights, and have an awareness to refresh your mind about it. I just saw that this morning.
Yes.
And that's what Mr. Trump needed, and obviously Mr. Santos.
Right.
I'm telling you. Goodbye. Goodbye and good riddance.
And good riddance. Mr. Santos is out. Are the Lions out or are the Lions in?
The Lions is out.
What's going on,
man?
Now?
So, if I'm being honest, the Lions, they lost today.
Yes.
They're still leading the division. They're at 9-4, which sounds like a really good team. I mean, you think about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Out of 13 games, you only lost 4. That's pretty good. Anybody would say that's pretty good. But it's like in a time in the season where the Lions should be playing their best football, they're playing their worst football. And not only are they playing their worst football, but it's against teams that are bottom of the barrel. Chicago Bears they had a record going in today of 4 of 8. And you played like crap. I mean, from turnovers to penalties. It just looks bad. But I think the hype of the season and the hype of the media has a way of doing that, of hyping things up. I was reminded today that I told myself at the beginning of this year that the Lions should be one game better than they were last year.
Okay.
The last year the Lions went 9. They won 9 games, 17 games. So my math is what they went 9-8, or is that 17? 9-8.
That's 17.
Okay, they went 9-8. So this year that would make them what, 10-7, right?
Yeah.
That would make them 10-7, one game better. And the Lions sit right now at 9-4. It's just that I guess they got to those wins a lot earlier than I thought it was. But so it's like they're right where I said they would be if they lose early. Right, they have 5 games left. If they win 1 out of the last 5, they'll be right where I said they was going to be anyway.
Okay.
The early success, you know what I mean? It went up, but ultimately, I tell you one thing, and we talk about this. I think hiring your friends always come back to hurt you in some type of way. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's ever hired a friend and it worked out perfectly fine, but the Lions defense has been trash. It's been terrible. It was terrible the first year. And Aaron Glenn is a black guy. He played football in the league, was a teammate of Dan Campbell's, worked with him as a DB coach over at the Saints and everything. And Dan Campbell gave him an opportunity. Now, Aaron Glenn, at this point in his career, was no defensive coordinator. He was a secondary coach, which means that he handled a piece of the defense, not the whole defense. Okay. Well, Dan Campbell gave him a chance, gave him a job as a friend. And just to be honest, the last 3 years, it hasn't worked out. And Dan Campbell should have fired him last year, but he brought him back again this year. And it's just like the Lions lack talent. They don't have the horses, but even schematically, it's just not looking good. And I can guarantee you, after Aaron Glenn leaves Detroit, he probably won't be another defensive coordinator again. I bet you nobody will hire him as a defensive coordinator. But I feel like because he's there, because they're friends, because they have a relationship, it's hard for him to, you know, as Mama would say, see the forest from the trees and say, okay, look, you just ain't cutting it.
Wow.
So I think that the Lions would, because they won so much early on, I think they still will win a division. They've split with Green Bay and split with Chicago. So their division record is going to be 2-2. They have 2 divisional games left with the Minnesota Vikings, who started off bad, but now is playing good football.
Okay.
It's not going to be an easy thing to do. I can see the Lions splitting with them, winning one more game. So I think that they've won enough early that even 11-7 or 10-7 would afford them to win a division. And I'll say probably a first round playoff exit, because they play unbelievable when they really playing good. The defense is terrible, and everything is just not coming together all at once. You know what I mean? Consistency, and a win is a win, and true enough, a win is a win. But when you get in ugly wins against mediocre teams, that's not going to help you against good teams, because you can't make those same mistakes against good teams, because when you make those mistakes, they capitalize on them. So I'm out on the Lions. It's been a great season. I'm going to acknowledge
he's out.
He's out.
I'm going to acknowledge that this season has been the best season in nearly 20 years. Wow. The Lions might win the division. That's a good thing. But what you have to ask yourself is, if the Lions are they contenders or are they pretenders? And when you really look at the grand scheme of what they're doing and how they're playing, they're pretenders. They're not contenders. Okay. And that's okay, because this has been a rebuild. And you have to remember that last year, year before last, when they won 3 games, last year we lost. I think we were 1-7. We lost like 6 games in a row, and then we won like 7 games in a row and finished. So we are improving, and I'm grateful and thankful for that. But the Lions Super Bowl hopes, you're not winning the Super Bowl. Honestly, you're not even winning the playoff game the way you're playing. Right. You know what I mean? The way you're playing. So do they have time to turn things around? Yes, they do have the time to turn things around and to prove me wrong. But, I'm not going to say same old Lions, but I'm going to say pretenders.
So they
Well,
still my little pussycat.
there you see your little pussycat.
Meow, meow.
No roar.
No roar. Exactly.
Well, what should the conversation be in the locker room and on the field now with the coaches?
I think that Dan Campbell. Okay, so when you look at today's game, I look at the fact that these penalties, right? These are mental errors. We got false starts. We got these pre-snap penalties that shouldn't happen. That's taking us from having third down and manageable to now third and long, right? I look at the Lions that they let Chicago get out to a 10-zip start before they even play. You know what I mean? So I have to question, okay, where is this team mentally? Has this team listened too much to the hype that they thought that they just riding this wave and they can just go out and play and not put those emphasis on discipline and how they did in the beginning of the season? So the only thing that I could think of is they're unfocused and I think they're unprepared to some capacity. So I think that the message have to be is let's get back to the offseason, to that offseason mindset. Let's get back to that. Let's not look at us and that we're 9-3 and we're playing a terrible Chicago team. And just because we're the Lions, we're going to come in and we're going to beat you. Let's make sure that we're doing what we need to do to win. That would be the message that I think that Dan Campbell should have.
Well, I believe that Aaron Marshall has that message out of there from Southfield AT&T. They won the first championship ever in the school's history. They won 36-32 over Belleville. Now, I had been following Belleville's team from last year because my former professor, Dr. Smith, son played football. And I think they went to the championship.
This would have been 3 state championships in a row for them.
Wow.
If Belleville would have won.
Real? Okay, so I am correct.
Yeah,
okay.
This would have been 3 in a row for them if they would have won. However, Southfield A&T came in there and was like, "Look, we the underdog, but hey, they came to play."
They did.
The score does not reflect that game. Southfield A&T dominated that game. I mean, dominated. And Belleville came back a little bit in the end to make it close. And then Southfield A&T, gave them that final punch in the mouth to put the game away. But, it's a tremendous story. There were talks. I read an article. There were talks that many people in the school, in leadership, did not believe in their head coach. There were talks there were talks about him being fired, being let go of, and all this
early in the season.
And he just kept winning. And he kept them kids focused, messed around, and got into the playoffs and won the state championship. So yeah, kudos and big hats off to him. And I was able to read a lot about his character and his nature of being, family minded, team minded, not taking any credit for himself, but to the staff and it was just a wonderful story. And Belleville, I believe, came in there with the big head.
I'm sure
they came in there with the big head and just like, hey, we about to win this three in a row, because you gotta understand, Southfield A&T, nobody expected Southfield A&T to be there.
Never.
Wow.
So they came in like, yeah, we got this in the bag, and they didn't know what hit them.
The hare and the tortoise.
Yep.
So if anybody was in the area of Southfield, Michigan on 10 Mile and Civic Center Drive, you could not move. They had big parade on Saturday, and
so they
thousands of people
celebrated.
Yes,
Amen.
they did.
I think that's crazy because I can't recall King or Cass, as many state championships they have won in the recent years. I don't ever recall them having a parade.
Me either.
Yeah,
I can't say that either.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. Wow. I mean, like, good for them, good for Southfield, but yeah, that's awesome.
It's amazing, and I guess in certain situations, which this is one, never having been able to to snatch that title as a state championship. I know funds were released all over that city to make that parade, happen and to be able to do what they need to do, because not only having the players in the parade, but that costs to get the manpower of police to secure that entire venue. So they like Justin said, they went way out and all out.
If I'm not mistaken, so you had Southfield High, and then I believe you had Southfield Lathrop. You had two schools that merged into one and became Southfield A&T. Okay. And so I think, this new school being there first, especially the way that the schools combined today, I think it made it extra, extra special.
Right.
Maybe they can talk to the coach of the Lions.
Yeah. Have them come in, rah.
But Rufus.
Yes.
Talking about school, I saw that you had your students.
Yeah, 100 kindergarten, first grade.
At the parade.
I saw that.
Did you all see that?
How did that go?
Let me tell you, I'm glad I'm still here. So all week long, they're not the students. They're kind of talking about the trip a little bit, but that Wednesday it finally hit them that the field trip was Friday, and so they were just losing it. And they were excited. And in the morning, whenever the class came in, I played the parade from this year's Thanksgiving Day parade so that they could get associated with all the floats. By midday Wednesday, they were on the zickety boom. They had lost control. I told them, I brought them back around. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to tell any of you to watch your behavior. I said, what I'm going to do Friday, when it's time to line up and put your coats on, I'm going to let you put them on. And I'm going to grab the box of tissue. And when I tap you on your shoulder, just take your coat off, have a seat, and take a tissue to cry in, because you will not be going. Also, they kind of, that just went over their head. They're like, no. So when Thursday rolled around, I said, field trip canceled.
No, you did not.
Oh, when I tell you two that it was an outpouring of tears and waterworks, I said, I don't even want to hear it. So I took them to their special class. They're getting ready for their concert. So children, manipulative. So they go into the concert and they're thinking about everything that they've done that day. Now they want to tell me, now they're trying to see how can we get that trip back. So when I go back to pick them up, Justin, they all want to hug me. And, Mr. B, you're the best teacher. I wouldn't break. I said, you're still not going anywhere.
We love you, Mr. B.
Right.
But,
you're an apple, Mr. B.
Right.
So, I had the parents to come into the room Friday, those chaperones, so they could observe the children in their learning environment for about an hour. When they got their coats on, they were still a little calm. But when we walked outside and they saw those yellow buses, cheese buses, you would have thought it was a private jet. Their eyes got big. I had to contain us and do not run. They were on the bus, but when they got to the parade company and saw those floats, they were just so excited. They were asking the tour guide 100 questions, and the tour guide was just so shocked with some of the questions that they were asking. She really didn't even know like a lot of the history that they were trying to get. And these tour guides have been there at the parade company for years. Like everybody that works there have been there for 30 plus years.
Wow.
So they had a good time, and then all had lunch together, at the end of the tour. and you couldn't tell them nothing. There was one student who couldn't go, whose parent didn't, sign off on the permission slip. And so when I brought him back, the little clown nose that they give you and a set of beads and a little lunch that the cafeteria had made for the students, he just started crying. He was so excited to have his nose. And I just said, it's something as simple as that is, because it's just nothing but the floats. It's nothing moving. It's nothing going on. But all of the joy and the excitement that came for these children who probably may not have had the opportunity to go and see that. It was amazing.
That's
it was amazing. And what I was so impressed with was the involvement of the dads.
That's awesome.
They were there, and they were like, well, Mr. B, whatever you want to do, we game. We'll come on out to the class, to the school, and I want to do something called Dad's Dance, where just the dads come in and they do their favorite dance with the kids, and do that. I think that just will just bring a togetherness, association with the children and their dads, and then with the overall involvement with their education journey.
Yeah,
because they're going to need both parents, really, as they go through school, even if they're together or not together. And
that's right.
And I think that dads will really get involved in something like that, something that years ago dads would say that that's the woman's job to go up to the PTA meeting and things of that nature. But to see that is refreshing, and to see how a shift and the change in society's mindset when it comes to the involvement of men.
I love it. Love it.
I love it too. Yeah.
My goodness. So I'm excited about something. I don't know if I'm the Color Purple fan.
Okay.
I watch it at least once or twice a year.
Okay.
So I'm excited about the new Color Purple coming out.
Are you excited?
It's a new Color Purple coming out?
Yes.
I didn't know.
Oh my Lord, Justin.
Where have you? It's a new one coming out.
Christmas Day.
It actually opens Christmas Day. But I was upset because a friend of mine went to a premiere last night. And I couldn't go because I had an event last night. I had a birthday party last night.
Okay.
But yes, a new Color Purple is coming out. And they have some great, Fantasia. Oh my goodness. Halle Bailey. What's her name?
Taraji hit.
Yep, and because she plays Suge.
Right, she plays Suge.
And then Danielle Brooks. I like Danielle Brooks.
Now, who is Danielle Brooks?
I'm trying to remember what she was in. She's a character actor, but she's been in a lot of different things. But she's so good. So she's really up and coming if she has not already come. So they have a lot of good actors and actresses in there. So I can't wait to see it. I am so excited.
I saw the red carpet with Oprah, and when I saw and the lady Margaret Avery, who played Suge Avery,
right?
And when I saw Danny Glover, I said, "Who is that man?" Oh my Lord!
I know he's in his 80s. If he's not close to 90,
if not close to 90s, and when I saw him, I said, "You're there."
Yeah. But I am really excited about it. I read the book.
You read the book too? Okay.
Yeah, read the book, watched the movie, and what was nice about it is that the book, the previous movie, was almost verbatim of the book.
Wow.
Because a lot of times you read the book and you see the movie, it's like, okay,
completely opposite.
That from? Where did this come from?
Right.
But the movie was almost verbatim of the book.
So who wrote the star in this movie?
Have you ever seen The Color Purple?
I have.
Okay.
I have. So who's is it the same writer? Is
No,
Oprah in it?
what is his name? What is his name? What is his name? Oh shoot. I can't think of his name.
Some movies I just feel like shouldn't be remade. And The Color Purple is just one of them. Like, it's one of those movies that, like, okay, we all my life I had to fight. You know, we can say that all day. But it's like, was The Color Purple really that good of a movie, or was it just a highlighting of a struggle? And it's just like, no, that one is fine. Like, we don't need that in the 21st century. We're trying to be away from that. Why are we going back to that? You know,
we should be moving in a different direction.
That's what I'm saying.
But they did say that it's gonna be. They kind of.
They did say that they
did some new things. They did some new things.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, I just seen that. I haven't watched it yet, and I was going to see if my son was interested in it, and because we watch movies at bedtime. And,
okay.
You know, one movie might last a month because I don't let them watch 20 minutes of it or whatever.
Got you.
But
got you. It's 2 months for this.
There's a new Good Burger.
Really?
Yeah, there's a new Good Burger. So Good Burger, welcome. Yeah. So I haven't showed him the trailer yet, but I was thinking, like, would he even be interested in it? I don't even know if he'd be interested in it. But it's like, if there's not a Mondo burger, like, then what? I don't know what is. I don't know. And so I don't know about that. And it's on, I think it's on Peacock. So something I'm going to have to pay for to
okay.
show.
Okay.
And then, you know, my wife says to me, you know, Beyonce is at the movies. I want to go see it. I'm like, but I took you to go see the concert. So the movie is just a video of the concert.
That's what she want to see. That's what she want to see. But I guess, you know what, because
and it's $25. Why it can't be $7?
It's 25.
That's what this is ridiculous.
Go, Jay-Z.
This for you, baby. This for you. Go see what you want to see.
Now she had the experience. See, the movie is for me. $25, $600.
I paid $25.
I said, yeah, I'm a beehive.
Look, a couple of my clients went to go see Beyonce. So the tickets, I think they said were like $600.
Yeah.
Plus they had to travel.
Mm-hmm. We went to Tennessee.
Did you?
Plus they had the hotel. Plus. And I'm like, you know what?
We went to Nashville, Tennessee to go. I took her to Nashville to see Beyonce. Yep. And I paid that pretty penny for those tickets just to have to come back home and sit through a 2.5-hour movie of what we already seen.
But you know, and it's just like movies, though. You know how you can watch over and over, and then there's always something that you didn't see or that you didn't catch. I didn't realize that wasn't. I didn't catch that part. You know, so there's always something that you missed.
Sharon said, "How do you improve The Color Purple?" And I'm with Sharon.
I'm not saying they improved it. I'm just saying it's different. So I'm just excited to see it because I'm a fan of The Color Purple.
I'm curious to see it too. Now, this is what I want to know. I didn't see Whoopi at the premiere. Was she there?
I didn't either. I didn't see her either. So
is
maybe I don't know.
Is she in it?
The new one?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Now, is this girl, the lady that you're talking about, Joanne? Is she playing the Whoopi Goldberg part?
No, she's playing. Which one that I'm talking about?
You said the one has been a character actress, and
oh no, she's playing Oprah's part.
Really?
Yes.
Now, Oprah said in an interview that when Steven Spielberg was wanted to cast her, and then tried to give her a look, her look was based on a 50-year-old Black woman, how he saw her in his head during that time. Okay. And we both know that a 50-year-old woman today would probably be insulted that Oprah look was based off of what he thought.
Yeah. But then you have to, but that's still coming from the mindset of a.
Yes, it is
because we don't age like that.
No, we don't.
No,
No, we don't.
we don't age.
Hmm.
So I'm not
Well,
gonna say it.
I think at the very, it should be very interesting.
I think so.
At least entertaining. Now
Yeah.
I know when I finally saw The Color Purple, the thing that got me the most in the movie was when that little boy threw that brick and hit her in her head, and she touched her head, and then touched that rock. I said, "Oh my God, what kind of movie is this going to be about?" That was within the first 5-7 minutes.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I don't even remember that part.
Just
Right in the beginning. You probably was.
Is it 3 hours long still? Is it?
I hope
I
not.
hope
And you know
not.
what? This one is. They say it's more of it has a musical back. I mean, it's kind of like a musical where the other
Flair.
one was, but they do some singing and stuff in here. Some,
Oh, do
you
they?
know, so
Okay.
this it's not a musical, but it's on the edge of being a musical, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably more of those saloon scenes.
And see, and that's you know, so that's where I can see Fantasia and Danielle, and
Mhm.
because Danielle can sing,
Right.
I can see them because man, oh man,
Now-
I didn't know
now-
Taraji could sing though.
I think she did a particular movie that she sang.
She
in.
sang in. Okay.
Oh, you know, and I think she sang in
Hustle and flow.
what
It's
was
hard out here for a pimp. We're trying to get the money for the rent.
Amen.
Look, hey.
I think in Empire she sang something.
Yeah, I think she sang something in
She did,
Empire
she
Uh-huh. I think
TV
she
show.
did.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then she's playing Marvin Gaye, and Taraji is the one playing Tammy Terrell,
Oh,
right?
Tammy Terrell, right?
Yep,
We had
she's
talked
playing
about
Tammy
that.
Terrell in the movie.
Now,
Tammy
when is that
Terrell.
coming out? That's
It's supposed to be in the spring.
Now that should be a good movie. That's something
That should be.
I don't want to see no Color Purple. You can forget about the Color Purple.
Okay, Justin.
Jessica,
I understand
be
that.
amazed. She's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that was the best movie ever.
Right. But I could understand, you know, it's like it's nostalgia, right? Nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
And I can't believe
You can see some fresh young blood, you
Right.
know, some fresh.
I saw this this post on Facebook. It says talking about movies. I'm going to ask you guys, but what was the best robber movie that you guys ever saw?
Robber.
So for me, it's between
Set it off.
Set It Off
Set it off.
and Taken. I mean,
I love Taken. I love the whole series of Taken. Oh my goodness.
It's like between those two. But I think
You're
that
right.
the fact that I felt like Set It Off was like all women. I gotta give it like, dang, it's probably Set It Off.
Yeah, Set It Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. But
That
you know what?
But
Even Oceans. That Ocean series.
the Ocean series.
I like
that's a very good one too.
that. I like the
I didn't
old
see
and
that
the
one.
new.
George Clooney.
Oceans 11, Oceans 12,
Mhm.
Oceans 13 with the and Oceans 8 with the sisters, with his sister and the 8 women.
Right.
They were robbing people.
Bernie Mac.
Okay, Justin. Now I'm a
I
challenge.
didn't see that.
Oceans, you need to see Oceans 11, Oceans
Okay.
12. Is it wasn't it 13? Oceans
was a
13,
13.
and then Oceans 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Very good.
Based on Oceans, like in the what was that, the 50s or 60s?
the
Based on
50s.
that, but it's of course it's
Right.
brand new.
Modernized. I think Sammy Davis Jr. was in that one.
Yeah, Sam Davis
Back
Jr.
then,
was in the
yeah.
original
In
Ocean.
the original.
But oh yeah, you need to. That's a nice series too.
Okay.
About
I'm gonna check it out.
Now, you know, one thing we never discussed, and I don't know, I meant to ask you, Joanne, did you see the documentary Justin assigned to us?
All About the Benjamins.
All About the
All About the
Benjamins.
Benjamins.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
That actually All About the Benjamins, but I don't see that as a robber movie though. I see that more as like a comedy. But I guess
that
it
the one
was
with-
Robin Diamonds with that's literally one of my favorite movies with with Mike Epps,
Mike
right?
Epps.
Yeah,
That's like I guess I consider that as a comedy, but that is like literally probably number 2 of my all favorite movies. But I really didn't take it for a robbery.
Well, definitely Dead Presidents.
Dead President.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I know I've seen that, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what was the movie you were talking about? What was our assignment?
Oh, it was Hillside. Is that the name of the documentary?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
I saw that. Oh my Lord.
You watched it. Okay. Yeah, I think I asked y'all to check it out.
You have to watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it this week.
It's just unbelievable.
Unfreaking believable.
It's on what now?
It was on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix or is it on Hulu?
I think it's on Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Just the whole, and I don't know where I was during any of this.
The only thing that I remember about this is when the whole Justin Bieber got baptized. I remember that.
Yes, that's what I do about it.
But other than that,
I didn't know that was associated with this.
Me either. Yeah, me either. I didn't know that either.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, and that's where his song was based off of. That what was the name of it?
I don't know.
His little religious song that he did. I can't remember the name, but it talks about him, giving himself to Christ and trying to find his way. I think, and that was all associated during that era. Joanne, you just gonna just be outdone, literally.
Yeah. Wow.
They talked about Reverend Ike and how he was running a scam. Reverend Ike doesn't even compare to this.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
It doesn't even compare. Now, I Justin, I don't even know of any religious organization that has been exposed can compare to this story.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And how the roots ran deep from Australia to New York it's just like, man, that was just crazy. And the denial and just, man, and honestly just taking advantage of people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And even when you think about the crisis, that it was one particular episode where they were dealing with like basically they were saying that they say they're inclusive, but when you look at it, everything is all white. You know what I mean? Like all the leadership is all white, whatever. And it's just like it's so much to digest with that. It's a lot.
Everything that you could imagine that shouldn't go on in a church organization was going on.
Wow.
Everything. I mean, everything.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know who exposed that like that, but it really did.
Mercy.
Speaking of, Carlton Pearson. I don't know if we talked about that.
No.
Yeah, Carlton Pearson passed away probably a week or two ago now, I think, whatever. And Carlton Pearson, I remember being in my mama's Geo with a cassette tape of Carlton Pearson singing all these, old school medleys and hymns. And man, I just love some Carlton Pearson, man. And just the Azusa Street ministry and, seeing it, how powerful, man, like he was TD Jakes. He was on top of the world as it relates to being a preacher. And then, he had his dream. He had, different things going on. And he eventually evolved into what he was. Now, the crazy thing about Carlton Pearson is, I think that he was in a time, I think his first, now he evolved, I'll say this, he evolved in something completely different than where he started. The message that he had when he first started, if I think the modern day church to a large capacity has adopted, that message. I just think it was just at a critical time, and I don't even know how to explain it. It was just at a crucial time that when he was like, well, what about these people? Surely they're not going to hell. They ain't never had an opportunity to believe. Which, you know what I mean? Which, if you ask anybody today, you know, I don't think Carlton Pearson was off on that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't think that he was wrong from that original standpoint of belief of that. Hey, there's people that don't know. I don't think God is going to send them there, and I don't believe that. I believe if you grew up, let's just say, you know, we believe that Jesus is the way. Well, if I grew up Muslim and all I know is Muslim and this, and there has to be a time where I will be able to choose Christ, right? You know, during the great reveal. So I don't think Carlton, like I said, his original message, had he preached it today, it would be largely accepted as truth. But because it was in a time period of this holiness to hell ministry that I think he was forced out. And I think that it led him on. No, he wasn't wrong. Yeah, it led him to. It's almost like one of those things where you may have truth or you may know truth, and then nobody accepts it. So because nobody accepts it, you draw deeper into it, and then the deeper you go into it, now it then got a little funky, and now you kind of mixed up in some stuff that ain't all the way right.
Right.
That's where I believe that he ended up. But his first initial message, I don't think he was wrong.
Right.
I agree with him.
I agree. And a lot of times we see that happen, is that, you know, God gives us a message, and because when we tell the message, people look at us side-eyed, and so instead of staying on that path, we kind of divert, because it's like, okay, and who does that remind you of in the Bible?
Yeah,
Jonah. You know, I mean, there's a lot of different people, and so we okay, Lord, I did what you told me to do. They're not following, so you know, they're not doing what you said. I told them what you said, and so we kind of get, and I don't want to say discouraged, but we kind of get, oh my goodness, we get weighed down with, why isn't everybody jumping on this bandwagon? He gave me this message. And so we have to realize that, you know, first of all, heaven rejoices over one. And so that if we still have to stay the path, and he never said it was going to be an easy path, but we still have to stay the path. And so I think you're totally right. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was just amazing how he was able to go to Oral Roberts University in this area where there was predominantly Caucasians, and be able to become one of the singers, and then to be introduced to his ministry there at this particular church. And what I thought was very fascinating about it all is how he always would bring that up, and he would always compare the two of how black church, white church, how he would begin to, when they introduced what they were introduced to the Holy Spirit and to running around, and how he would imitate how they were trying to process this shouting and this excitement about the Holy Spirit. I think, as we all know, and as Justin pointed out, he was groundbreaking. Literally, he was groundbreaking. I had the opportunity to meet him once, and I met. It was through when I was working with Aretha Franklin, and she had something, and she brought him here, and so I had that chance to just talk with him casually. And just his whole everything, him was just like a refreshing. You know, some people you meet and you're like, oh, brother. And then others you're like, wow.
Oh, I really like you.
You know, and he,
you're who you say you are.
Exactly. He didn't say anything so profound or so earth-shattering. It was just minimal, very regular, whatever the conversation was. and he was kind of, comical, and I was like, that's how we should be as believers. We should always be, when we can, glad to be a believer, and not just like I'm saved and I can't do nothing and I can't say nothing.
There should be a joy about being a believer.
It should be a
there should be a joy about Jesus. There should be a joy. It's not always
down,
fire, brimstone, and all of that. There should be joy.
And I think a lot of the modern messengers and interpreters of the gospel, and I would say Justin being one of those, they have a fresh perspective on the delivery of and the interpretation of who we should be through God's word and through God. And I think it's so cool, because if I was to join a church, I know I probably would not go to a traditional church, like Justin said, with the old choir thing and marching down the aisle. I'll just fall out. I've been in that so long, playing in it, and that was an acceptable culture, all that. But it would have to be something that.
And it's okay to change things.
And it's all okay.
There's some heaven hell issues. There's some traditions, and preferences, and those are two separate things. And so as we move forward in life, as things change, it's okay to change some of those traditions and those preferences, but God's word will always stand. But it doesn't. We can deliver God's word differently. It doesn't have to be the same tradition when we were growing up or when our parents were growing up. We can, there's so many different ways that we can deliver. There's so many different ways.
And I always tell people, I said, let me look around in your organization and see you don't have no youth. And when I say youth, I mean 30, 20, 19. And then these 30-year-olds and 25-year-olds are having children, and that phase of the youth. I said, if you don't have that, don't invite me to your church, because I'm not coming.
Nah, because these folks still think Jesus on the main line. I tried to if he was ever on the main line, he on Wi-Fi now. He ain't on the...
Okay. Jesus is on the Wi-Fi.
There you go. He's on demand. He on demand. He ain't
stream everything.
Yes, he on demand.
Definitely. Well, great show today, Joanne. What you gonna leave us with for the week?
Oh, just what, in this season of Christmas, in this holiday season, let's please remember. We know he was not born during this time of the year, but the representation of, let's not forget, because as we see, the world has taken Christ out of Christmas. It's not even called Christmas anymore.
Right.
And so let us reflect as believers what we believe.
Yes.
What it really should be all about. And please, and don't get stressed if you don't have the funds to buy everybody's gifts. If you don't have, be a gift to somebody and cook them a cake or make them some cookies or, but don't stress. Don't stress. Remember the reason for the season.
Yes. Justin?
Don't. Take your vitamins, take your vitamins, and
definitely
it's just that season, where colds and flu and everything like that. Practice good hygiene, wash your hands and everything like that. Take your shoes off in the house. You don't know how many germs and stuff, you track inside the house with shoes on. And just stay well. Don't let it was 60 degrees the other day, 55 degrees the other day. Don't let this weather fool you. But yeah, take care of yourself. Make sure you be intentional. Don't be going outside with no wet heads and nothing like that.
Yeah, right.
Getting sick. So take care of yourself. Take your vitamins.
Yes.
My word is to Macy's. leave me alone with those one-day sales. Please.
They leave me alone.
Please lose your hold on me, Macy's.
You know what's interesting? My mom wanted me to take her to go to Macy's last week, and so I said, "Okay, let's go to Macy's." She's like, "Yeah, I got all these sales and I got it." We went to Macy's, and everything she tried to buy, they said, "Oh, you can't use that for this."
That makes me mad.
Right. So basically, they sent her all these coupons, telling her she can use it to get her to go out here and shop, and she can't use none of what she bought or wanted to buy. She can use the coupon for it.
Damn. Crazy. Damn, to get you out there. That's all.
Yes, that's
when they know you want to buy something. Something.
Especially if you go through the effort to go.
Right. Oh, these are Macy's rewards. You can only use this for Macy's products. Well, ain't Macy's selling everything that's in here?
Isn't it a Macy's product?
Right? Isn't that a Macy's product?
It's a Macy's product. Crazy. Crazy.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
All right. We thank everybody for viewing us and watching us, who watched us live, and thank you for joining in the conversation. Share Denise Beard Smith, Alice Beards, and for those who will watch later, thank you for your support, guys. Have a great evening. And next week we will see you here on Talking To. All right.
Yes.
All right.